Hey everyone, welcome to week 26, I'm pretty sure, building Vibroblade Ridge. This week, I think it's going to be a little shorter. I haven't put the video together yet, obviously, because I'm recording this. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty short segment. I still want to get a segment out, and I want to apologize for missing last week. Last week was so crazy, I didn't touch anything down here at all. Like, sometimes I get to come down here and just mess with stuff that's not the mock. I had no time whatsoever. I was always rushing to places, so that's why there was no segment last week. This week, hopefully, we are able to, or I do get some stuff accomplished. I actually clean up in front of the mock. You'll see it goes from pretty dirty to pretty much clean, which is great because I am going to shift the mock over. It doesn't happen in this video, but I do talk about it more. And then finally, we are going to put in more clones. I have a whole bunch of battle packs. Well, I guess now had, because I do record these opening and closing segments last. But so I had some clone battle packs that are now open, and I just parted out everything. I got all the figures and other stuff separated that I wanted, and stuff like that. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this week's segment of building Vibroblade Ridge. Starting off this week, I actually did some cleaning. It's actually late in the week, so this may not be a long segment. I'm not sure. This is the first part I'm recording. But if you remember, this place was really, really messy. I've been able to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to try to clean it up a little more. Excuse me. I don't know if I'm going to get much cleaning back here done. I'd like to. But this segment, I really want to focus on cleaning. And actually, at the end, we are going to talk about, you'll see later on, we get to more than cleaning. But I wanted to let you know, kind of this is where I'm starting at. I did a little bit already. The goal is to, if I don't completely clean this up, just tidy this up as in all like the loose stuff. You know, just get containers and stuff like that in larger masses. Then maybe push some of that back more. I'm not sure. My biggest issue is I still have all that left over from the previous mock. So it's just a complete dirty show. But the top really hasn't changed. You'll see kind of, I might come back to it later in the segment, but pretty much nothing on the mock physically itself has been changed or touched since last week. Just because, or since the other weeks, just because no time, and really there's nothing else to do besides the figures. Some minor detailing, stuff like that, but nothing major. Anyways, I'm going to focus on this, and when you continue on the video, you'll see what I've done. So I've spent several portions of the day cleaning. I didn't time-lapse it because I worked on it for 20 minutes, walked away, worked on it for 20 minutes-ish, walked away, so it just wasn't like a good option of time-lapse. And a lot of times I was sitting there and just fiddling with stuff like just in this area, and then I'd move a whole bunch of stuff. So I didn't time-lapse it, excuse me, for that reason. But the good news is this is pretty much all clear. You can kind of see I pulled this out a couple inches. I want to try and center the whole mock. I mean, it's kind of sitting over there, which is all right, but if I center it, it'll keep me from making this, it won't allow me to make this side as dirty. Same with the other side, since I mainly work on this side anyway. But I just got to kind of clear up this front corner, do this, and the idea is if I center it too, a lot of this back here will kind of be hidden behind it, and even when I come up here, I mean, that'll be in the background, but you can see, like, when I talk about around here, you're not going to see all that as much. So the idea is to move everything over and block it. Also, as I move it, I can pin it all in, get it all locked up. If that happens, we will see that happens this week or not, just because I still like the idea of, even while I'm placing the troops, I still can move each base plate by itself. Also, moving it with a bomber on it, that's pretty dangerous, just because I don't want that to break off. So I got to move slow, I got to mess with it, got to work with it. I got to decide, too, if I'm going to have, like, those bombs falling down as well. My only issue is kind of right where those bombs will be falling is right where I want to put some main characters. So I don't want to, obviously, have them get blown up. So I can either move them back and maybe move them off to the left or to the, well, left or right. I don't know why I did it backwards. But I'll have to decide that later, too, is where certain characters are going to go. Like I was saying, this is not the final position for all these characters. Some of them are going to be up top, and I have to decide where exactly I want to put them. I kind of know how, like, the idea of the exact positioning. It's just kind of where along the mock. I could move it up to where those two orange things are. There's a little blown out section right there. A little, I keep forgetting the name when I'm thinking about it. Not Foxwell, there's another one. Thinking of it, I can't think of it right now. But maybe right where they're at. Maybe down I know there's fire in there, but maybe remove the fire, put them in there. I'm not sure yet. Maybe put them in the really big. I might put them in the really big one, actually. I don't know. We will see. But for right now, I kind of just messing with some stuff. I just got to clear off the characters which aren't involved in this mock, which actually are the 5 up here, right up front, along with some extra parts that are just sitting around. So the lights come. I got some parts down there. And then tidying all this up, we'll see kind of where that gets. And like I said, I still have a surprise at the end of the video, so hopefully we'll be able to get to that. I think this week might be a little shorter, but that's not for me to talk about in this video. But let's go ahead, see what I get to next. I didn't leave this segment to be super boring, so right at the end here, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put together these 13 battle packs. Sorry. I do plan on getting some more, but we'll go ahead and we'll put them all together. I'll time-lapse me building the clones. The rest of the sets, we're not going to worry about the Jedi, just the clones. So I'll go ahead, I'll open up all the boxes. I'm going to pile up all the clones either into this bowl or this bowl right here. And then as I build them, I'll put them on a base plate or something. But I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and see where we stand with the clone army. Area 4 Vibroblade Ridge. We can see how many we have, if I need to get more, how many more, and then I'll figure out how many weapons I need to order in, because I'm not going to have enough weapons currently. So let's see how long this time lapse lasts. So I went ahead and I built it all up. You just saw the time lapse. So I got 32 more troopers to add to the mock. What we're actually going to do is I'm going to go take them over to the mock. I'm not going to set them up how I want them. I'm kind of just going to place them about, kind of some here, some there, to get the idea, just exactly like this, but just spread them out, lay a couple down to act like they're dead. Again, not final placements, but I just want to see what it looks like if I need more troopers or if we're good after this. But the good news is we're moving in the right direction. So worst comes to worst, I have to buy a couple more battle packs and order in more weapons, and we should be set for the clone army for Vibroblade Ridge. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's see how many more clones I need or how many clones I do not need. So I went ahead and I kind of just placed them. You can see they're just all kind of standing, at attention, just across the field. And I do still have all this back part to fill. It's going to be a little different. Here's probably about where they, had their guns up ready to fight. Otherwise, I'm going to have, troopers running in to support and stuff like that. So probably from, this line forward-ish, we'll actually have them ready, attacking. Here, they're moving into position to help aid in the attack. And then I still got to put a few down here. So the unfortunate kind of truth is I probably need to buy just as many of more clone trooper battle packs, unfortunately. It's just the way it rolls, unfortunately. But we are getting there. So, not this week, and we still got the droids to put down, don't forget. We still got the droids and the second bomber. The parts for the second bomber, the clear parts, should be coming in soon. And then I also got to order a lot more weapons, because that's all I have left for Clone Army Customs. So I'm going to have to go ahead and place an order for that. I'll do that within the next day or two, or week-ish. So next week, I don't know, it might be a 0.5 segment. It might not be anything. I'm not sure. I might just skip the week. But for right now, we're going to end off pretty much with that's where we're at. We still got to cover some of this back part, and we got to get some troops down here. So let's go ahead and end out the video. And that was the segment. I think it went pretty well. Not a lot done, obviously, but helpful stuff. Got more clones, got this area cleaned up, just because it makes a big difference. One, when you're messing with the area about the size of my iPad, I got so much stuff there that my iPad is that size, is the only space I have to work in and move stuff. Primary examples, I don't know if you can see that behind me, but I was able to get the fire mech, and I got my detective's office, which I bought about a month or two ago, up and actually on a shelf. I took down my old Takodana set, or kind of mash up. I bought 2 of them. So actually, to be honest with you, the biggest waste of money right now for Lego was buying 2 of those Takodana sets. Originally, it was kind of a cool idea to have a bigger one built, and then I was like, nah, I don't need this. Cool thing is, I do have a lot of parts from it. So that's kind of nice. My more dark tan stuff too that I can use towards final details. But I took that apart, which allowed me to clear a lot of this off, which is great. Which again, you saw, so there's no point in me beating that horse to death. And then you see I talk about moving the mock over because I want to center it on my tables. As we know, it's been kind of pushed off onto the one side. I'm going to slowly try to move it all this way. And as I do, I want to try to start pinning everything in. That way, it's going to have the ability to hold together, but I can break it apart and move it in individual base plates, because even though they're separate base plates, they are pretty heavy, especially these first 4. These last 2 aren't as heavy, but they're still pretty heavy. And then we put in clones. So what does that mean? We're really reaching the final point. We still got the rest of the droids to put in, and we still got a lot of clones left. As I was just saying in that last part, I probably need another 20 to 30 clones, so that means I got to buy another 16 battle packs. Again, I'm going to hear on the comments, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm going to explain it once again. Actually, I don't hear in the comments, so maybe I'm doing a good job explaining it. But I know the one time I don't explain it, someone's going to write down in the comments. I'll be like, go check out my last video and the one before that, and the one before that, that other one I talk about clones and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I want to be able to, it's just easier for me. It's cheaper, just because of where I work. And then I got those extra parts in. Now I got a whole bunch of flush hands I can use actually to, I did a project a couple years back where I took all the flush hands off my Rebel Troopers, the old like early 2000s battle pack with the speeder and the 4 Rebel Troopers. I used all those flush hands on a different project, so now by doing this, I can replenish those, so that's a great thing. And we'll be able to get that bomber up. Kind of, I know, going from clone battle packs to bomber, we'll be able to get that last bomber up as well. I want to thank you for watching this week's segment. I know it was kind of not a lot. I think it's still going to be pretty short. Depends on how long I keep talking here. But I do want to thank you for watching, and I don't know what's going to happen next week. It could be a 0.5 segment. I might just skip it. Comment that down below. Let me know. Would you rather have me just skip next week, or would you rather have a 0.5 segment that talks about where we stand and what's truly left to do and my rough estimate of time left on building the mock? So if you want a week 0.5, say week 0.5 down below. If you don't want a week 0.5, just don't comment anything. Or I guess, well, comment skip a week. Just that way I can kind of tell that there are people voting for that, and not just people who say, I'm just not going to, I know a lot of people don't comment, so that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.